start recording now. Okay. So, should probably close the door. Alright. So, welcome to the episode. It's just probably the YouTube video that I've been promising quite some time. So basically, my name is Brian. Everyone knows me as the person that makes trouble about data points and stuff like that with statistical samples with pretty much Excel, if you guys could remember. And also, another cool thing also is that I'm just staring at the screen and I just don't know why, it just looks cool. So basically, I'm the person that has probably seen some of my work too, with start from last year, where I've done some analysis on open powerlifting's data. So basically, I'm not looking at the screen, I'm not looking at the camera, and I don't know why. I'm not looking at the camera on the screen. Come on. But this video will just gonna be exploring how everything is in terms with IPF points. And I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna move that screen here so that you can actually see what I'm probably not a good idea. So in this video I'll be non-technical as possible when it comes to numbers, but I do love numbers. I love analyzing data, as some of you already know. Oh my god. But we will be doing this video in comparison between the four most modern point system formulas that we've got for powerlifting. So basically, powerlifting has its own, so we know that it's squat, bench, and deadlift. And we've got this magnificent formulas, which you can probably see here. That's IPF points, by the way. It's just a combined of the four raw. It's just showing SBD, but it's the same for squat, bench, and deadlift individual lifts. As you can see that there's some Wilks just this year has released his own formula, which is sort of like similar to his first version of the Wilks. D.O.T.S, on the other hand, does the same thing when it comes to its formula structure, but it's shorter. There's less polynomials and stuff like that. So the less number of polynomials, then the less chance, which I've actually seen this, is that it is less bias. D.O.T.S is less bias, which you'll see that later on. IPF points, on the other hand, if you do search up IPF points, make a new tab. IPF points is a very intricate formula which was developed last year by someone, Mark Steiner, I believe, and it is a type of formula that was proposed during the IPF Congress last year, 2019. So basically, the formula itself is very simple. It derives from a normal distribution formula. So if you don't know what the normal distribution formula is, if you forgot, so it derives from a normal distribution curve formula, which pretty much tells me, or probably tell you also, that it treats each individual, which, yeah, Wikipedia, yeah right, you go in this one, but it's can be a source of truth at times if you want to verify something. Most of it's half truth, but anyways. So it derives from a general normal distribution formula. I won't go into that, but it does what it does, same as that. But it only takes half of the formula, which interestingly D.O.T.S and IPF formula follows. As you can see here, if I zoom out a little bit, you can see the breakdown between the four, where this is one thing that I don't like about the Wilks, is that it dips up and goes down in the middle and goes up. If you compare between the four, I would probably stick between either IPFPoints or D.O.T.S. D.O.T.S still has a little bit of dip in the center. It's probably because of its polynomial style of its formula, where it goes up to the power of 4. Anything that goes up more than to the power of 4, then you have a chance of the line or the distribution or the sample that you enter that will just, I think it's a little bit biased. So basically, if you're in the middle of a weight, well, you can see that lighter, these formulas itself still favor lighter lifters, which does make sense because the lighter you weigh, the more kgs you weigh and all of that. That's perfectly fine. But one of the arguments that we need to talk about here is that which of these formulas do fit correctly and depends of the weight classes, and also which formula shall say that it actually treats the whole sample of powerlifting results into a, let's just say, into a sample, shall say. So when I'm saying a sample, is that it's kind of like a normal distribution, which part of the distribution you'll be in the curve, if you go back on that screen here. So I mean, it will only refer from the middle down below, but we'll just say which part of the distribution I am in, on which part of the half, which most of these formulas do show that it's only between the two, which I kind of lean between D.O.T.S here for a little while. But the problem is that if we talk about the Wilks version 1, version 2, and D.O.T.S, the only problem that I see is that you're still using the same formula whether you're doing single bench, if you're doing bench, single bench, if you're doing single deadlift, single squat. And what I like about the IPFPoints is that it has different formulas for different things. So you're saying that so pretty much it's saying that it's mutually exclusive. So if we talk about mutual exclusivity, IPFPoints is the one that has a formula that distinguishes between raw and equip, which I really like about IPFPoints. But we're not going to go through that because I don't want this video to be long. But we should actually focus on the raw numbers. So see how the IPFPoints is just gradually continuing to drop. You can see in the numbers here. So basically the greener it is, that's where the higher point is. Red is pretty much self-explanatory where the dip is at. But if you compare between Wilks 1 and Wilks 2, see how it goes green again? So what I'm trying to show here is in this part here, if I go, or actually see how it goes, right? So by the way, this is totals over here and body weight. So see how it goes here. IPF points does plateau negatively or in lower number depending on the weight that you've lifted, which is good. IPF points gives, I'm going to give IPF points a credit there. If you look at D.O.T.S, it does a little bit the same, but it goes up a little bit because I've set this up, I think I've set this up into starting body weight in increment by 3. And the total is starting at 351, 350, and it increments by 2.5. Which is good, no doubt about that. There's still that slight after reaching, it is consistent up to here on 181 kgs at 181 body weight kgs at 467.5 body total. We're just gonna do SBD here because I don't want to make this video really long. But it increases up a little bit. It creeps up. So we can still say that IPF points still has that problem because it has that up to the power of 4 polynomial, which is not bad. Which is not bad compared to Wilks, which goes up, and in order for you to go up, you have to eat a little bit more, which is impossible for. There's not much powerlifters that are even 250 kgs. But the only thing is that see how it goes up from here to this point here in 100. So it starts the decline from 100 to 200. So in order for you to get the same Wilks points in 100, you need to be another 200 kgs light heavy, which is not good. So that's, even though it does increase her between version 1 and version 2, increases by I think 70, at least 70 points. It is still not a good formula for me. I don't know why. I'm not going to be biased because of this, of the thing that happened 2 years ago. But it is still not a good formula. It does not treat a lifter's total and body weight as a statistical sample. I think IPF points and D.O.T.S do, instead of Wilks version 2 and version 1. So that's how it is. The trend, I'm just showing you guys the trend of this so that you guys know. Once we go through samples from all of the IPF nations results, you can see where I'm going to here. So because since there's like 500,000 entries in, so this data that I got from Open Powerlifting, so but we will go through this type of data that I've got, and we're only going to be focusing on those. We can still change it if you want to, but that's okay, we'll just leave it to there. So this is a software called Tableau Public. So Tableau Public is a software. Yes, I'm using a word computer. So Tableau Public is a software that I've been using to analyze open powerlifting data. So Tableau Public is free. It is this window that you're seeing here at the moment is the kind of like an SDK or developer sort of a thing. It's a developer software that you can use for data visualization and a bit more analysis and making it look pretty and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a data science software. Excuse me. So it can do from dot plots to also tree. What's this called again? A tree map. You can also do this for lifter nations also and put that in the map, which is pretty cool. So you can zoom in, zoom out. So you can also do a lot of things here. You can categorize them also. You can set up the filters, which is, excuse me, which is pretty good. I'll just say it's pretty good. You can search on the map too and stuff like that, but we'll go through the interesting bits. So what I've done here is that you can see the body weight. I'll probably remove the body weight because it's not something that we're not going to be talking about also. I'm only going to focus on how everything is and which one's a perfect formula. So what we'll be talking about here is that how does it fit on a specific sample. At the moment it's showing all weight classes in the females. Yes, and you can also put it into males too. It's a little bit slow, but it's orange. Okay, that's cool, so at least we know. So we can do this here. I'll start off in NPF. So it's actually good that we do focus on smaller samples to see how it is. Like with in terms with how if it is the best formula to use. But we'll probably actually what we can do is that we'll make it into all. And we're gonna select the weight class of 120. See how we all focus on the 120 in the open weight class. So this is the open age birth year classes, so it's just focusing on open. As you can see here, the total between the dots and the total and the formula for dots. Just keep a note of this. This is at 9.99, so we're looking at the r squared here. So the r squared here is the one that we need to establish if this is a good formula or not. Go to the IPF points, then see how that's a lower one. So that means that the compared between the IPF points and the dots is a much more accurate formula in compared to the IPF points, which is 0.01 difference. Wilks does it also, but if we remove these trend lines, you can probably see the distribution though, but in 93. So Wilks. IPF points is probably okay in some sort of instance, but let's just see how it is from a lower weight class in the 93s. 99, 99 point what? 99.1, 993, 993, which is the same thing. 993.26. So basically dots here is another one within the 93s and the males. This is only IPF only, okay, as you can see. So that means that DOTS is a much more preferred formula for the 93s. Go to the 83s and see how it is. 83s is not 0.911. Pretty close. No. 91.1. 91 0.01. So we're just trying to focus on the trend lines here. And DOTS is still, it's pretty close. The Wilks version 1 and version 2 is still pretty close compared to both of them. But it looks like DOTS is the one that should be, it is a preferred, much more preferred, and it's fitting within the sample of the total, all of the total registered in an 83 weight class. I'm going to remove Wilks because it's probably going to cause a bit of confusion. So we're just going to focus on Wilks version 2, which is mostly used now by just World Powerlifting. IPFPoints, really, it is IPFPoints. And DOTS, which is CPT Timmy on Instagram, is the one that developed this formula. But to be honest with you, compare between it, if you compare between, because we're looking at R squared and this is on linear. Okay, just letting you guys know that the trend lines are on linear. So we can say that DOTS is the one that is preferred, which I really like too, even though there's a bit of a dip somewhere, but it doesn't really matter, and it goes up, but it doesn't really matter. We're talking about this thing here. But I'll go through that. Let's just see in the 74s and see how it is. It's a bit of a shift, right? So you go 393. It's probably number of people or number of lifters registered. DOTS is on 9.9919. Ooh, so IPFPoints is much more preferred on the 74s. Ooh, okay. So, let's put in the 66s. 93, 993, 992. So, we can say that the IPFPoints 993, 33, 35. So basically we can say that IPFPoints prefers the lighter lifters compared to the heavy lifters. So heavy lifters uses the heavy lifters DOTS is much more preferred as a formula. That's a bit, this is pretty, yeah, it is pretty amazing how it is. Let's go to the females and see how it is. So we can say that it's sort of like a 50-50 here. But you can leave your comments down on the video below. I mean, on this video below, and it's gonna be on YouTube anyway. So, let's see, females, 84s. So we're talking about the 2019 sample here. So 98, 99. So IPFPoints is much more preferred on. This is pretty interesting actually. Okay, so what's happening here? Trend line, show trend line. So it is on linear. So we're still using linear here. 91, 92, and 98. So, this is interesting actually. In the female, this is another thing. It is pretty interesting how it is. So 93, 94. So in the 94s, heavy female weight classes, in the 84 plus, D.O.T.S is a bit more preferred. It is preferred on the 94, 97. See how the dots are so close to the trend line? That's another best way to find out. But on the males, there was a lot of points that are so close to the trend line. So the way that that's one reason why I'm just trying to refer to the R squared, because that is when it is. That's how I see it's probably a good formula for specific weight classes. It's pretty mixed. You go to the 72s and see how it is. Probably it's the best time for IPF to have a new female weight class. So probably a 94, 94 plus. Probably a good idea to think about that, IPF, but that's okay. It's my personal opinion. Going to the 72 females, IPF points is a little bit more favorable. 63s, IPF points. IPF points is still. So it is depending. Well, let's just say that it really depends, because it's just that IPF points is much more on the dot side of things compared to when it comes to point system. IPF points is much more preferred over dots here. So it's a good thing to say that it is still a preferred formula. Well, I think on the juniors. 996, 993, so it's still IPF points here. 992. So the men's, there's much more weight classes in the heavy from 93 onwards. From under 93s above, or 83 plus, 83 plus. Guys, weight classes that do prefer dots compared to IPF points in the females. Go 52 and see how it is. 9, 5, 9, 2. So it is IPF points on the females. If we change that to open. Ooh, there's an outlier. Who's this guy? Who's this person? Yeah, I don't have time to normalize names. So 93, 93, 997. So in the open weight, in the open age class under 52s, it's much more preferred on the dots, on dots formula. Let's see what happens if we start in IPF. It's not much in 72s, to be honest. Let's go no and all. Yeah, it's a bit dispersed. Let's look at the international level ones. 99, 997, 998, 99. Yeah. So 999, 998. So it's still IPF points. Let's go on the 84s. So it's just all of the IPF. So these are just international meets. But 93, 9931, 95, so it's still IPF points. So it is pretty interesting how it is. If we go back to the 93s here, 99, 96, 94, so it's dots. So to conclude this video, it's a pretty mixed reaction, I can say. We're under 93s, under 105s, under 120s, and 120 plus prefer dots. But if you go down from 83s, from under 83, 74 and 66, much more on the IPF points. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there. It does depend, well, it really depends on you if you favor dots compared to IPF points. I am not in favor of Wilks because Wilks does spread out the distribution a little bit weirder. But I'm getting a bit conflicted between IPF points and dots. And it depends on how you guys think about it. Just the whole EPF doesn't really matter now. So basically, (993), 993, 991, going 83, still be the same, probably not. 931, Eric Carlson. So under 83, this is IPF General 990. So basically dots is in the 83s, but when you go into 74s, that's when everything goes weird. So Taylor Atwood, yeah, god of powerlifting in 74s. So 92, 1992, 191. So IPF points is much more preferred on the lighter males from 74 below. But it still depends. It's your own personal opinion. I reckon they should just remove all point system, you know, it doesn't really matter. But it's really interesting how these formulas do change trajectories of different lifters and how they placed and how it treats. But what I can say also is that one reason why I removed the Wilks and Wilks version 1 and version 2 is that I just don't see them as a viable formula in the future for powerlifting. Dots is between the argument between the Dots formula and the IPF points that has been proposed last year. It's just pretty mixed. So it looks like that the Dots much more preferred on the heavier males, to middle to the heavier males. Females is a little bit purely on the IPF point side, but it doesn't really, at the end of the day, you lift what you lift. It doesn't really matter. I'm just showing this because out of interest in myself, and I want to get your opinions too. What's your opinion between Dots and IPF points? I'll be publishing this also on a Google website. I'll put that on the link below. But yeah, which is pretty interesting. You'll be able to see all of these here, and the federations and where everyone is on the map. I'm struggling on Finland, and I don't know why they're showing, but we'll go through that. Which is pretty interesting how you can see all of the lifters here. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. So this is pretty much unscripted. You can see this also on my Vices, so I'll put that in the link below. And do check me out, follow this video. I mean, give this video a like, follow this video, because I haven't uploaded a YouTube video for a while. And also you can follow me on my Instagram, where you can chat more about my thoughts about this. Okay, see you guys.